guys, this is Miss Leslie from the Paul Sawyer Public Library. Thanks so much for joining me today. And today's Community Connection segment is at Liberty Hall in the Orlando Brown House, a great historic site in downtown Frankfort. We are actually in the gardens at Liberty Hall, and this is the perfect way to celebrate the first day of fall. And in just a moment, the director of Liberty Hall in the Orlando Brown House, Sarah Elliott, is going to give you more information about the house and how you can take a tour and take your own nature walk as well. So hold on just a moment and we'll get to Miss Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Elliott. I'm the director at Liberty Hall, historic site in downtown Frankfort. The property was originally owned by John Brown, who was one of Kentucky's first two U.S. senators. He came to Kentucky in the 1830s. He started the construction of Liberty Hall in the 1790s, and he brought his family here in early 1800. The property was owned by the Brown family, both Liberty Hall and the house we call the Orlando Brown House now, which was one of the Brown sons' homes. But the Brown family lived here on the site until the mid-20th century, which means we have a lot of family pieces, furniture, decorative arts, paintings, and we have a treasure trove of family letters, documents, diaries, photographs, and books. I hope you'll come and visit us. We're open for tours Monday through Saturday. Tickets are required in advance, but we have a really easy system on our website that you can purchase your tickets with no problem. Our website also has a lot of background information about the Browns and the Stepney family, who were the enslaved African Americans who lived and worked here at Liberty Hall. We also have a hands-on history program on the website. It has activities for kids, coloring pages, puzzles. Even adults like to do those. We also have blogs that cover a variety of topics. We have background information on the Stepneys. We have a couple of decorative arts blogs, and we also have one that talks about a trip to Europe taken by one of the Brown family in the early 20th century. We also have a couple of virtual tours, so if you're not able to come visit us in person, you can go to the website and watch those videos. I hope you'll come and visit us. Thank you so much, and stay safe.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that great information that Miss Sarah shared with you about Liberty Hall and the Orlando Brown House. And hopefully you'll take the opportunity to either come down and visit the gardens and do your own nature walk this fall, or visit the Orlando Brown House and Liberty Hall. You can take a tour, like she said, in person, and all that great information is online. Or you can also take a virtual tour online, or there's some wonderful kids pages as well. So please do that. So this site for our Community Connection fits in great with our theme for our stories, because yesterday was the first official day of fall. So our stories today are all about fall and falling leaves. Fall is one of my favorite times of year because you not only get the pretty fall flowers like mums and things like that, but you also get the beauty of the changing of the colors of the leaves. It's one of my favorite times of year. So our first story today is called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves, and it is by Julia Rawlinson. And thanks to the folks at HarperCollins, we're able to share this story with you today, and it is one of my favorites. So let's see what's all happening with Fletcher. The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of the den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sounds of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Looks like that's what's happening now. Looks like we're going from summer to fall, just like we are here. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. Uh-oh. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" his mother asked. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," she said. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," he said. "You'll be feeling better soon." So Fletcher's worried about his tree. But the tree didn't get better. Each day more leaves turned brown. One morning the wind blew a small brown leaf off of the branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. So he's trying to save that leaf because it's the one lone leaf left on his favorite tree. "Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you." Fletcher looked around, picked up a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to the branch. Just then another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back down to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. "Now you'll hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way down to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree. I'll catch you, I promise." Round and round and round whirled Fletcher after all the swirling leaves. So he's trying to save those last leaves on the tree. Let's see what happens. "Leaves, wonderful, just what I need for my nest," said Squirrel. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "The tree doesn't need them anymore," said Squirrel, bounding off. "Help, help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing all our leaves," cried Fletcher. "Leaves, terrific, just what I need to keep warm," said Porcupine, rolling around. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the porcupine's needle. "Not anymore," snuffled Porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help, help! The wind, the squirrel, the porcupine are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. Uh-oh. Suddenly a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them into the tree branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down with a smile. "Thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. "Hey!" He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off fast asleep. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wriggle free. They tossed, they turned, and they twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground, all while Fletcher is fast asleep. They brushed Fletcher's ears and his nose and filled his dreams with the whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I'm so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw high in the branches one small leaf still holding strong. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He crawled along the last leaf and held it firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew, the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't worry." But then with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a plip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. Oh no, poor Fletcher. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf he promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to the den. He made it a cozy little bed and gently tucked it in. But all night long he could only think of his tree, all on its own. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing, and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky, and the pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree hung with 1,000 icicles, shining silver in the early light. "You are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug, then he went back to the den for a nice warm breakfast. And that is the story of Fletcher and the falling leaves. And look at all those beautiful icicles that landed on the tree overnight. So Fletcher didn't have to worry at all. And that is the story of Fletcher and the falling leaves. One of my favorites. Now our next story is also one of my favorites. And it is called Mouse's First Fall by Laura Thompson. And thanks to the folks at Simon & Schuster, we're able to share this story with you today. So let's see what Mouse's first fall is like. One cool fall day, Mouse and Minka came out to play. Tumbling and twirling, fall leaves fell all around. "Look at all those colors," said Minka. Look at the orange and the red and the dark green. Mouse saw red leaves and yellow leaves and orange leaves and brown leaves. Pretty. Look at all the shapes, said Minka. Mouse saw round leaves and skinny leaves and pointy leaves and smooth leaves. Yay! Let's run through the leaves, said Minka. That's one of my favorite things to do, or was one of my favorite things to do as a child. My dad would rake up all the leaves and I would run right through them and destroy all his hard work. But it was fun while it happened. Mouse ran and skipped and swished through all the leaves. What fun! Let's pile them up, said Minka. Mouse piled the leaves high. 1 leaf, 2 leaves, 3 leaves, lots of leaves. Yippee! What a big pile, said Minka. Let's jump in. Mouse leaped and jumped and plopped and rolled into the leaves. Whee! I'm hiding, called Minka. Can you find me? Where is she? Oh, there's her tail. Mouse peeked and poked and peered between the leaves. Where could Minka be? Then out popped Minka. Here I am, hooray! Hooray for Minka, hooray for Mouse, hip hip hooray for fall. That is one of my favorites, Mouse's First Fall by Lauren Thompson. So those are some great fall stories, but the library has lots of really wonderful fall stories that you can check out and read at home. Now, there's all kinds of fun things you can do. If you were to come to Liberty Hall for a nature walk out in the gardens back here, one time this fall, you could hunt some leaves, you could pick out all the pretty colors, you could do your own nature hike. You could do leaf rubbings, leaf paintings, all kinds of cool things you can do with fresh fall leaves. So I hope you enjoyed our visit to Liberty Hall and the Orlando Brown House. Hope you enjoyed our stories, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much and have a great day.